Hey there friend, welcome to another Roots of Peace yoga practice. I'm Chelsea. Blue, come on. Oh, look, a rainbow, happy spring. And this is Luna. We wanted to have a little bit of bright color fun for you since it is spring now, even though outside it doesn't look that way at all. Today's practice is bring on spring, so we're doing a lot of twists and a lot of things to spring clean the body, move things out so that you have room for new growth this spring. Luna's very excited about it. She's also very excited about her new treats. So with that, you will need a bolster, a half a block, and I mentioned it in the intro, there goes the rainbow. Darn it. I didn't really throw it in, but we're gonna do some lunges, so if you need some extra height for your hands and your lunges, a block is a good idea to have. And if you don't have either of these things, no worries, it'll be totally okay. So get your stuff, get your mat and your vibes going, and I will see you super duper soon. Good day friend, and welcome to another Roots of Peace yoga practice. Bring on spring. As I said in the intro, this practice is devoted to bringing in the spring equinox. Even if it doesn't seem like spring outside, there's still a wicked amount of snow in our yard, in our place of inhabiting. So yeah, it is what it is. It'll be okay. I'm gonna have you start in fallen tree pose. So it's like tree pose, but you're laying down. So it's way more better, as I like to say. So you're gonna come onto your back and you're gonna take your left leg long and tuck your right leg. So you're in tree pose, but like I said, you're on your mat, laying down. You can have your arms at your side. Maybe you're reaching them up and overhead. Maybe you're gonna tee them out to the side. Find a position that is comfortable, but creates a little bit of sensation in your shoulders. Maybe like on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 2. Just so that you're opening up. This practice is for opening and clearing with spring, so you can start to settle into your breath. With spring, we're coming out of hibernation mode. Winter is the time to hibernate, to, I don't want to say isolate, but you're not out and about as much normally in winter. And so now is the time to bloom, to grow, to have rebirth and get back out into nature if you haven't done so this winter, and just like maybe a little bit more activity in your day-to-day. Maybe your winter was active, and if that's the case, like maybe you need to slow down like I do sometimes. But spring is a lovely time to clean our homes as well as our bodies and bring in new practices. We love to transition with the seasons as yogis. It's very important. So you can straighten your right leg now and then tuck your left, switching sides and really relaxing in this posture. You want your knee to be sinking down towards the floor so you can feel that openness in your left side. And then you're gonna sink in with your breath and a little bit of quiet. And now bringing the feet to the mat, planting them even in the 4 corners. You want them in line with your hips, and you want them, some people take their half corpse pose like this, but if your knees allow, scoot your feet a little bit closer. Don't go past the natural bend in your knee. I did that like 6 weeks ago and I'm still paying for it. You're gonna root the hands down, inhale, lift the hips for your bridge, stretching through your quads, pushing back through your shoulders and making sure that your gaze is straight upwards so that your airway stays open. So all that prana, your life force, your breath can flow through your beautiful body. And really try to root down through your feet, pressing back, pushing the hips up. As you exhale, lower down slowly through your spine. And when you ground, send those feet high for happy baby. So happy baby is a lovely spring pose because soon we will start to see lots of little happy babies out in nature. I'm excited to see the fawns. Last year we had this like super cute group of twins that I named Lavender and Clover. And they just were the cutest things to watch. So hopefully we have some little fawns running around. But spring is a good time to implement new habits and really focus on, if you have some goals that you've been thinking about or maybe some changes you want to make. Spring is a season of transformation. The trees are gonna get buds and they're gonna bloom, flowers and grass are gonna sprout. So it's a good time to implement change. And my advice to you is, if it's something big, maybe a job transition or some work on a relationship, don't get in your own way. So take a deep breath in and then exhale to drop your knees into your chest. You can take a few side to side rocks, releasing any tension, really trying to push and squeeze that out of your body. Return to center, plant the feet back to half corpse. So you're gonna walk them wider than hip width or to find the edges of your mat. And then we'll move to windshield wiper knees. So breathing in to go to the right, or you can exhale to go to the right and then inhale to pull, or exhale, so you can flip your breath, doesn't matter. But moving with your breath, making this intentional. So windshield wiper knees, especially in spring, we are wiping away clutter. We're wiping away ama, that morbid toxic waste. And we'll probably all have a little bit from winter. Our diets are different. And so this is a good way to wring out the body, push things along that aren't serving. So getting back to that, getting in your own way, perhaps there's a big decision you have to make that you're afraid to make. And so you're telling yourself, like, I'm just not gonna do it. I don't wanna deal with it. I don't want to. This was precisely what I did when I was deciding to take yoga teacher training. I was deliberately trying to get into my own way because I was terrified. I was absolutely just scared shitless, pardon my language, to do this. And boy, am I glad that I took the risk. So take the risk. You deserve all the beautiful, wonderful things. And growth is messy. Like, it's never easy. It's, you know, like, people stay in stagnation because it's easier that way, even though it doesn't feel good. Take one more round on each side. But if you can get over those bumps and hurdles, oh, the possibilities. Oh, the possibilities. All right, bring the knees into the chest. You're gonna take some rock and rolls back and forth if those serve you. If not, you can come up to a comfortable seat. Either way is totally fine, but rock and rolls are a good way to soothe your nervous system. So the lowest part of your brainstem is nonverbal. And so this is, if you see kids like rocking, they're trying to self-soothe. They're trying to soothe themselves. And if you find yourself drawn to rock and rolls, maybe your nervous system is a little out of whack, as mine often is. I love rock and rolls, and I thought it was because I have tight shoulder blades, but now I'm like, oh, it's because my nervous system is so funked out. Okay, so we're gonna come upright, and we're gonna take boat pose. So you're gonna root down through your sit bones, and then few options. You can start with your hands down, feet up, or maybe you're starting with your hands up and one or two heels down, tapping. Otherwise, you can come into full boat by rooting on those sit bones, as I said, and then reaching out to the side with the hands. Maybe you stay here, maybe you straighten your legs. Ah! Whew, I'm a little sore today. Too many lunges yesterday. Anyway, or for a little stability, you can come into upright happy baby, which I think might be a pose I made up, but it's okay. It feels really good for me, and it's a good opener. I feel really balanced, so maybe you're playing with this one. It's kind of fun. So, balancing happy baby, or boat pose. 2 more breaths. Everything should be pretty engaged right now. And now you can lower down. I'm gonna pivot. And bring your feet together for butterfly pose. So this practice will have lots of, you know, like happy baby and butterfly and tree, just to highlight spring, which I am desperately waiting for. I've been wearing bright colors, and I've got, where'd they go? Vase of flowers, because I just really want flowers. I've been getting into plants a lot lately too. I have some friends, Theresa, I'm looking at you, thank you, that have really gotten me into plants. So I'm really excited about that. And they are a good reminder of what growth looks like and how growth happens. It's slow, it's tricky, but boy is it beautiful. So sink into your sit bones, let your shoulders drop back behind you, and take 2 more breaths in your butterfly. You're gonna move your legs off to the side so that you can plant it on all fours, tabletop. And then we'll head into some cat-cows. So arching the hips high as the belly drops for your cow. And then press the ground away with your hands. Shoulders are gonna hunch. Spine is gonna round. Do your thing. And these don't have to be a specific pace, but make sure that you're feeling the motion. I have a lot of students that they really like fire things up, and that's okay, but moving with intention is still very important on your mat. And every time you hit your mat or you meditate or you do breath work, you're inviting your brain to carve new neural pathways. So if you have bad habits or thought patterns from a long time ago that have stuck with you, your yoga practice can help you carve new ruts so that you can get into the good ruts and out of the bad ruts, which I find particularly helpful. Take 1 more round. Transition back to tabletop. Tuck your toes and float those knees for floating table. Just for a few breaths, we want to get a little bit of core work in. Not a lot, just a little. You're going to step it to high plank. Oh, I'm going to take my arms to a new spot. And now, settle to your down dog. Maybe you're going to pedal those heels. Maybe you want to shake your tail. So get that motion going in the body. You are moving and cleansing and clearing, working things through with the breath and with the motion. As you inhale, you are going to either baby step your feet to your hands, or you can do a cross step. If you have any sort of arch problems in your feet, avoid the cross step. So the cross step looks like this. So you're kind of making like an infinity sign with your feet. But like I said, if you have weird arches, just baby step your feet to your hands. So you're in your forward fold now. Halfway lift. Slide down to fold. Rise, extended mountain. Drop to fold. Half lift, take your fold, reach to extended, and you're going to catch your elbows. So we're going to take sunflowers, which are these big, beautiful circles, but if you get dizzy easily, if you suffer from vertigo, you're going to do cactus arms. So exhaling to drop down, inhaling to come up. So this is the option if you get the spinnies a little easy. Otherwise, you're going to cactus, you're going to grab your elbows. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to roll down to the right, and then you're inhaling to come up, lifting the gaze slightly towards the sky. Exhale, back down you go. So imagining that you're this big, bright yellow sunflower reaching towards the beautiful blue sky for some sun, some spring vibes. So this is the last time around on the right. Get to the top, switch, rolling down to the left now. Bring it around. Now I'm quoting SpongeBob. Good Lord, what's happening? Anyway, squirrel, keep moving through these sunflowers, really envisioning that awakening up to the sun, to the light. 1 more round. And this is a good way to keep your spine healthy, moving your spine in a way that you normally don't. Freeze up space, inhale, up you go, extended. Drop down, fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to extended. Hands will come to the heart and you can release them down and drop to your mountain pose. Eyes open or closed, your call. Maybe you soften your gaze a little bit. Palms are forward. And you're going to take your awareness down to the soles of your feet. So feeling the texture of your mat, bend a little bit through your knees, and make sure that your body is stacked up. So ankles are over your feet, knees are over your ankles, hips are over your knees, so on and so forth, so that your body is zipping up. And you're going to spend 3 quiet, mindful breaths. just where you are. Let your eyes flutter open. Inhale to come up. Exhale to drop down. Halfway lift. Take your fold. Step or hop to high plank. And you're going to take your hips high again for downward facing dog. As you inhale, sending the right leg high, you're going to bend that leg to stack your hips. That's what I wanted. For a scorpion dog or wild thing, it's called both sometimes. And now reaching that right foot high again, deep breath in, exhale to step in between the hands and drop the left knee for a low lunge. So taking your low lunge twist, left hand will stay down, right hand will reach high. I'm going to be doing a few twists today just to wring that body out like a sponge. As I said, we're spring cleaning your body. So every time you're deep belly breathing, you are breathing through all the parts of your lungs. You're getting any dust and junk that sits at the bottom, picking it back up, getting it out of there. People that breathe solely through their chest, really using the top third of their lungs, and down the line they can have problems. So even if you only belly breathe like once a day, get those belly breaths in there. As you inhale, you're going to reach your left hand high, so both hands in the sky, heart is lifted towards the heavens, and you're reaching for all the lovely opportunities that will come your way this spring. I love the changing of the seasons because it brings change in our lives, and it's just, I love the transition of it all. Like, oh, it's a new season, like new things are going to happen in nature and in schedules, and it's really fun for me. Not for everybody, which I understand. Palms come together at the heart, and then you're going to twist off to the right so that your left elbow is either on the top of your right knee or to the outside, and then you're going to push those palms together gently. They're embracing, and you're really sinking into the right foot. You can stay here or open your arms up. See how that feels. One more breath. If your arms are open, bring the palms back together, untwist, drop the hands, tuck the toes, step to high plank, and move back to your down dog. Sinking in your down dog, 2 breaths. And now breathe the left leg high, bend it to stack those hips for your wild thing or your scorpion dog. I love this because you can feel that stretch in your hips and your obliques. That's a really good one. All right, shoot that foot high again, deep breath in, exhale, step in between those hands, ground the right knee for your low lunge on the left. Right hand stays to the mat, left hand comes up for your twist. Deep breaths in your twist. I always say that, but it's very important. And as you exhale, pull your belly button a little closer to your spine, sinking it in to squeeze things out. As you inhale now, right hand's coming up for that low lunge. Lift through your heart. And seeing if you can change your narrative to how you speak to yourself. If you're like me, I put unnecessary pressure on myself, and I have this running narrative that is fairly negative, and I don't even realize I'm doing it because I've been doing it almost my whole life. So I've really been trying to change that because it is not helpful. You bring your hands to heart center, and I don't have time for it anymore. Like I don't have the time for that negative self-talk when I have so many things that I want to accomplish. So again, I'm getting in my own way and I don't even know. So you're going to twist left elbow to the top, or right elbow to the top of the left knee or to the outside. Palms are together, maybe your arms open. So maybe you have something like that where you you tell yourself like, oh, I don't need to do that right now, or I can't do that right now, I don't have time, even though you really need to rest, or you need to take a break, or laugh, or whatever it is. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. So don't do that. Take it from me. Palms come back together if they're open. Untwist. Drop back down. Tuck the right toes. Step to high plank. Settle back to your down dog.